Are we connected? Yes, we are. Welcome into the live streams, you guys. It's your favorite 71% successful grant writer, Superior Shelby, and I'm so blessed to have you here on this live stream. We're in like a really nice serene cafe. You see, I got some nice background here. But today we are actually going to talk about the 7 mistakes that you should not do as a startup. Yesterday in our live stream, we had such a good time, almost 2 hours on our live stream yesterday. And we just, I'm usually like your business bestie, so I have to keep the conversation flowing and making sure that I am, you know, helping you guys out, right, as my audience and the people that I truly appreciate joining. So yesterday I asked you, what should we talk about today? And you said that you want to know what are the no-nos, the don'ts that you should not do when you are starting a business. So let's get into it. Now, I have been a small business development coach and a grant writer for 10 years. So I have coached a lot of businesses to lots of money. And I've also won millions of dollars in grants as well. So I'm not new to this, I'm true to this, and I'm also a global entrepreneur as well. So my expertise and also my experiences, I definitely help you out and tell you some don'ts and what you should not do, okay? All right, so I did do some slides, so we're going to go over some slides and all that good stuff. And then I'll leave the last like 10, 15 minutes of the live stream for you all to ask any questions, all right? So we're going to jump right into it. Now, usually you guys see me on here talking about grants and all that good stuff. But like I said, today we are talking about the big 7 no-nos that most startups should not do. Now, I'm not going to give you the general information that you can get from anywhere else. We're going to talk about some mindset. This is going to be geared to financial, mindset, and marketing. So mindset no-nos, financial no-nos, and marketing no-nos. Those are like the main 3 key points that we will be touching on when we're talking about the 7 mistakes that most startups should not execute, okay, or should not do. Okay. All right. So let me get into it. We bring up my slides. Oh, so happy to have y'all here. All right. So okay. So the 7 things, top 7 things that you should not be doing. That's what we're going over today. And obviously you can ask questions. Hey, thank you so much. And let me go ahead and bring up on my side. I need to bring up my slide. I hope y'all are having a wonderful, wonderful start to your day. Wherever you are right now in the world, I'm hoping that you're starting your day off with a really great, with great energy. All right, so we got a couple of slides to go over, so let's get into not do when starting a business. This is very important. These I have noticed that a lot of you all actually perform these steps. And the reason why I picked these 7 is because I went off of experience in my consultations, and also I went off of just some background knowledge from in my experience from when I first started. So these are things that from experience, from my consultations, what I get from you all, and also based on the questions that you guys ask. Okay, so let's get into it. So the number one thing that you should not do, okay, is this is going to be for broke mindset, even if your wallet is empty. So the mistake is most people think that you need a perfect logo, you need a $10,000 website or a storefront before you're launching, but you don't need all of that. All right, that's a mindset trap. I need funding before I can start. That is really a mindset trap. I tell y'all this all the time on on YouTube, that it's not about, oh, I need funding so I can start. No, you need to show that you are actually a resourceful entrepreneur. One way that you show you are resourceful is by using all of your resources and connections and tools amongst you, and seeing how that will help you be able to start generating your first $500 to $1,000. If you can't be a resourceful entrepreneur, then how are you going to persevere through your challenges? Okay. So the problem isn't money, it's fear masked as perfectionism. That mindset kills momentum. Remember last week we were talking about how you wanting to be perfect, you wanting to have all the knowledge, you wanting to have a certain type of standard before you decide to start or before you decide to market your business. It is actually it's actually masked in fear. Yesterday we asked one of our friends, said, I've been learning so much, my thing is knowledge has been hindering me, knowledge has been um, making me hesitate. And what that pretty much means is you're learning so much, you're watching so many social media videos that it's a thing of you feel like you don't know enough, you don't know enough, you don't know enough. With actually, that's an actual masking of I'm not worthy enough. I don't have the knowledge enough. I don't have the skills enough to be able to start my business as of yet. But entrepreneurship is definitely a lot of a high percentage of it is based off of experience. And so experience is the best teacher in this situation. So it's very important for you to just start. But you kill your things have to be perfect, and it's not going to allow you to really grow. So what you should do, you need to focus on what's the minimum value. All right. So start small, test the waters, and build on real results. Remember how I said um, small wins bring big results. So this is why I say every week on Small Business Saturdays, we always go over our wins and we also go over our um, lessons, right? The reason why I do that, and I've started doing that, because I want you to be able to identify and hold yourself accountable for your small wins. Small wins bring big results. So if you're able to do something small and set some sort of goal to get things done for your business and you hold yourself accountable for it and you get it done, well, by Saturday, and we come on our live streams and we share on each other's like social media and all this good stuff, we're marketing our businesses together, you're able to really showcase your wins, and you're also able to showcase your lesson too. We don't call them losses, we call them lessons. Okay, so yeah, so an example, many millionaires start from their bedroom with Canva, Stripe, and Instagram. Start with what's in your hand. Remember, yesterday I talked about God will ask you what's in your hand. Some of y'all have actual gifts with being able to do things with your hands. Some of y'all have things in your home, materials in your home, resources in your home that you probably forgot about, books that you can read that will help you develop your business mindset, that you bought, and you didn't even read them yet. So what's in your hand, what's in your house, what are the resources that you have around you? Use those resources to be able to help you scale. Okay, that's being resourceful, and that's like the key to entrepreneurship. All right. Okay, so I hope y'all screenshot this. Let's get to the second slide. So the second slide, number two. All right, the number two thing you don't want to do is don't mix business and personal finances. This is more financial gear, but this is very important. I get the frequently asked question all the time regarding grants. Do you need to have a business bank account? We went over this yesterday, but yes, yes, you do. All right. The main mistake is that a lot of you guys who are in your startup phases, you are still using your personal bank accounts. You're using your Venmo, you're using Cash App for your business transactions. So you're using like these additional fintech apps, but it's in your personal name. You're not setting it up in your business name, or you're not even opening up a business bank account. That is not setting yourself up for success, especially if you are a person who is looking to go for business credit opportunities, business loans. You need to start developing your relationship with the business bank accounts that you have opened up. Also, you got to think the banks make money with you using it. So if you are not using the business bank account and having money, a cash flow, then they're not able to make money off of you. But then you walk into the bank and you're literally asking them for a handout of $10,000 to $50,000. You haven't built a relationship with them and they don't know how you spend money. So how can you possibly walk in there and ask them for some money and you haven't even used a business bank account or even opened one with them? So essentially you're not building a relationship with them. You just simply want to use them for money, and that's not um, developing a relationship with the bank. All right, that's not cool, especially as a startup. In other words, now if you are a seasoned business, you already got assets, you already got things, cash flow, payroll, things going on, then yeah, you can do that, right? Because your assets and experience already shows that you can definitely handle these types of debts. So a financial trap is that you can't track what you can't separate. Tax season will humble you. So I know y'all haven't gotten to that point yet. Some of y'all have not. A lot of y'all haven't gotten to that point yet where you have started generating revenue in your businesses and you have filed taxes on the revenue the income that you have received from your business. And now you see that you have to pay taxes on it. Some of y'all haven't been humbled yet. So So this is a thing where you'll be humbled when you get to that point. I've also noticed that there are some of you all that have been watching me on YouTube for the entire 6 years I've been doing this. And you are actually afraid of generating income and putting it in your business bank account simply because you don't want to pay taxes on your business. That is fraud. You scamming. I'm here to tell you the truth. So what you should do is you need to get an EIN, right? It's free. You can get that. That's through the irs.gov. Open a business bank account and track your income expenses from day one. All right. So even if you made an example, even if you made only $300 last month, treating it like a business creates structure for growth. Okay. Even if you made $300 from your products and services last month, you need to treat it like a business. So that $300, was that profit, or is that just breaking even where you got to spend that same $300 and put it into the supplies that you need to develop your product? Okay, so all right, so I hope y'all got it. So start opening up business bank accounts because I don't know, like I don't know. Well, and I want to know, what is the fear behind that? Like, what is the fear behind y'all actually opening up business bank accounts? I've also noticed that in our consultations and even with you guys commenting on these live streams, that you have a sort of fear about actually opening up a business bank account. I think you guys are fearful of, what if I don't make money? I don't want to have to pay for this bank account. I don't see a need for doing it because essentially I just want to see if I can make $1,000 real quick so I can pay some bills. So I don't want to go into this business bank account. But your mindset has to change because you're still operating with a broke mindset. You have to operate as an actual entrepreneur, an actual business owner. Okay. If you made your first $1,000 within 30 days of operating, you need to put that in a business bank account, start building up that business banking relationship. And 50, 30, 20 rule. I talked about this once before. 50% goes back into your business, right? 30% can go into marketing or whatever have you. 20% can go into savings. So you need to separate that. Whatever that 50, 30, 20 rule will work for you, you need to really exercise that. Okay. All right. So let's go to number 3. All right. So screenshot these things. So number 3, what you should not do. Don't copy and paste someone else's business model without context. Do not do that. So the mistake is, and I saw this before, mimicking another brand without knowing their back end team or funding. I have seen this before. And actually, this became a real big thing when people were selling courses and teaching people how to get into different business industries and giving you an idea of how much you should charge for certain services. Do not mimic them because everybody lives in different regions, everybody lives in different cities and states, and some of y'all live in smaller towns. Some of y'all live in metropolitan areas, which is like big cities like New York City, Miami County, Miami-Dade County, Atlanta, Georgia, Houston, Texas. Like if you live in one of those big cities, then your prices are going to be totally different from what that person that you have the pricing structure that person is trying to teach you or influence you to do on those courses. Do not mimic. Okay. You don't know what their back end team is. Also, don't feel any type of way when that person who is that person you are following on social media, they might say, "Oh, I spend like 10,000 to 100,000 or 500K a month on marketing." One, they could be lying. Two, if they do, you need to also take in consideration of their business model and structure and their back end. And these are things that you don't even know. So you can't compare yourself to those people, okay? Especially as a startup. So don't mimic them. Don't try to be like them. Find what works for you, and you plan that out accordingly. So strategy trap is what worked for them may not work for your audience, timeline, or resources. Everybody's time is different. All right. You might met this 21-year-old on or see this 21-year-old on Instagram that became a millionaire just by selling courses or selling small little products that they made off of Canva, and they are doing like e-commerce products through Etsy and Pinterest. That's for that person. That person was probably already a social media girly or a person already have like a couples channel and has a big following, and people be fanned out. So when you have fans, of course it's easier to sell to your fans. That's just like the general play. But you may not have hundreds or millions of followers on social media where you can sell them a rug or a Valentine's Day t-shirt that you made on Canva and then make $1 million from it. Like that's not everybody's timeline or storyline. Okay. So what you should do, understand why strategies work, and then adapt them to your unique mission and customer base. All right. So we talked about this like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, but how to develop an execution strategy. Definitely refer to that video. So that will give you more clarity on what I'm saying. But you need to develop your own strategy, understand why your strategy works. Then you need to adapt to it, adapt it to your unique mission and customer base. Okay. Instead of saying, I want to be the next Skims, figure out your niche within the niche. All right. This makes sense. So don't copy nobody. No copying. All right. So let's go to number 4. So number 4 is don't sell to everybody. You'll sell to nobody. This is very important. Okay. Because I think this is for my people who just simply want to, you are in a rush to make money. This is for you. Okay. The mistake y'all make is marketing to everyone afraid to limit potential. The best example I can give for this, the best example I can give for what I mean by don't sell to everybody, you'll sell to nobody, is the Birkin bag. Not even Birkin bag, Bentley. You ain't never seen a Bentley commercial before. They're not trying to sell Bentleys like they're Toyotas. It ain't for everybody. You understand? It ain't for everybody. Don't sell to everybody, you'll sell to nobody. If you are selling a skincare product that is going to help with eczema and you are marketing it as a acne prone type of product, you might get the wrong customer base and they will sue the hell out of you. Don't sell to everybody, you'll sell to nobody. Okay. So marketing tip. Okay. Here's a tip. Right. Mistake, marketing to everyone because you're afraid to limit potential. Marketing trap, sorry. General messaging attracts general indifferences. All right. So what you should do is get crystal clear on your target audience, what they struggle with, and how you help them. So example, like I said, a skincare brand that says for all skin types loses to the ones that says for eczema prone skin. That's a really good example. All right. Don't be afraid to limit and narrow down. If you have some of y'all have business types and nonprofits that are only for specific types of people. Do not be afraid of that. If you are opening up a group home specifically for domestic violence victims, you understand? Even if it's just only for women and not for men, don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of that. You can open up another group home specifically for men. You can keep it, or you can do a co-ed one whenever you want to. But for right now, if you say that this product, especially for y'all who are creating products that are only for women, don't be afraid of that. Okay. Be confident that you'll be able to target your audience. And also, this is where market research will give you that reassurance and letting you know that you can make the income potential that you can make just from being very targeted towards your audience. All right. So, all right. So that's that. Let's go to number 5. We're narrowing down. All right. So don't delay your online presence. Please don't. Y'all do this a lot. I don't understand. I really don't understand. All this social media. Social media is the biggest marketing tool that you can use for free that will really bring in a lot of money, a lot of profits. Don't delay your online presence. The mistake y'all make when y'all are starting y'all business is you wait until you're quote unquote ready or have a professional branding before showing up online. Nobody likes that. Even when you are scrolling through TikTok or social media, you actually connect more with creators who are more home felt, who are more down to earth, who you feel like you can relate to, or you know what I mean, like someone you can relate to more. So you don't have to wait on that professional branding, depending on the type of business that you're getting into. If you are into tech, if you're doing like a tech app or some sort of tech innovation, then I understand. But we have so much artificial intelligence out here that will give you that professional branding. You start with being resourceful first. If you can use Canva AI, or if you can use all of these other AI tools that can help you develop your website, that can help you do all of the things that you need to actually develop your tech idea. Use what you got to get to where you're going first. Once you make your first couple thousand, hundreds of six figures or whatever have you, then that's when you, especially when you make your first 100K, then that's when you can actually invest like 10, 15,000 into your brand and marketing, brand rebranding, right? Rebranding at that time. And then you might also find that when you rebrand, you'll be able to gain more users. So this is for different types of people, but either way, you still need to start somewhere. You need to start with what you have right now. Okay. Visibility trap. If you're not online, you don't exist, period. This is true. If you are not online, you don't exist. We even use Instagram to find the nearest pizza place, the best pizza place near us. We use social media to find people that will do our hair. We use social media to find people that are selling clothes. We use social media. We are literally using these social media apps as if it is Google Maps. So if you and your business is not on social media or have an online presence in general, even if it's just Google My Business, then you actually don't exist. This is the same thing that goes for grants. When you are going for a grant, they will Google you. If you don't have an online presence, then it just, and Google My Business is free. Google My Business is free. So if you don't even have a free online presence, setting up an Instagram is free. So if you don't even have any type of online presence for your startup, just because you want to be a perfectionist in your branding, when really you're just fearful of actually starting your business, then you're not really existing out here. There are some bank accounts where they will actually Google you to see like how far have you went in your foundations. Because you come in here asking us for a bank account, but do you at least got a free website done by GoDaddy and a free online presence through Google? It's free for you to set yourself up on Google. Google My Business. That's free. You got to do something. You got to have an online presence, or you're not serious, especially in 2025. So what you should do instead is create a simple landing page, post on Instagram or TikTok, and tell your story. People connect with progress, not perfection. Period. People connect with progress, not perfection. Y'all even love to see it. Some of y'all have been following me for so long, and you get on these daily live streams because you are appreciative of my growth. You love being able to say, I've been watching this girl since she lived in her high rise in Miami. I've been watching her since she lived in Panama and all these other countries. And now I'm watching her, and she's literally growing. She moved to Nigeria. She's getting married. She's moving forward. You like to see my growth because that shows that I'm a real person. You need to do the same thing for your business. Start somewhere. All right. And it's not perfect. You have seen me on these live streams cry. You have seen so much of what I have went through, from me losing my grandma passing away, but you've also seen the growth of how that has developed me emotionally, and now how I have more of a grace with other people. You've been able to see the growth. You understand? So you need to be the same way. Don't delay your online presence. That's a number. That should have been number one, because that like is a big thing that you guys do as startups. That is a big no. Take off on the ground running. Take off on the ground running. In other words, start at Instagram right now. It's free. It's free. It's free for real. It's really free. And don't be overthinking. Don't overthink the whole algorithm thing. That's not for you to be worried about. That's not for you to be worried about. Algorithms, that's just I used to worry so much about algorithms and numbers, but honestly, that's not how it's like that's not how it works. If you are persistent in your messaging, it'll get out there to the right people. No matter how many views you got on it, you can get 100 views on one video and all 100 of those people sign up for your product and service versus you getting 10,000 views and you only got one or two people that reached out to you via email. So you understand? All right, so definitely create a simple landing page, post on Instagram. Example, I gave you an example. Businesses with rough logos but consistent content often out earn the polished ones sitting in silence. This is true. All right. Okay, so let's go to number 6. Okay, so number 6, don't ignore the numbers. So I don't know if y'all are here, if y'all are at this point yet, but for those of you who are generating income, um, or not. This is for startups, right? So whether you're generating income or not, don't ignore the numbers. A mistake a lot of y'all make is you're guessing your prices, you're not tracking your expenses, and you're winging your profit margins. The financial trap of that is if it's not profitable, it's not a business, it's a hobby. This is true. Some of y'all are operating under hobby status, but you paid for an LLC. You came out better not paying for an LLC and just doing it on the side. You understand? So what you should do instead, know your cost of goods, labor, and overhead. Know your cost of goods. How much does it cost for your supplies and equipment to develop your product? How much does it cost for you to have Canva every month and all these other CMS systems in order for you to be able to manage your consultations? What is your overhead? Do you have a physical brick and mortar? Are you paying the lease and rent? Did you hire people? Right? How much are you paying them? What is that annual income? What is the annual expense for that? Okay. Use basic spreadsheets or tools like Wave or QuickBooks. I love QuickBooks. Y'all know I'm a QuickBook girly, but I'm also a spreadsheet girly too. So, example. So if you're selling a $20 product that costs you $18, it equals a burnout. Know your math so you can scale smartly. All right. If you're selling a $20 product, but it costs you $18, you gotta do some better math on that because you gotta determine on how much of a profit you want to make as far as in percentage wise on each product. So if you do percentage is better because if the $18, because inflation happens, right? If the $18 goes up to $20, but you always keep it at, oh, I want to make a $5 profit, whatever case may be, just do a percentage. All right. It's much better, it's more organized. All right, so don't ignore the numbers, please don't. This is something that I think that y'all skip over or you don't even do the math for, and you just simply say, I want to make money. You know how I know this too? In the consultations and even on the live stream, I ask y'all, how much money do you want to make? And I get the same answer, oh, I want to make $1 million. Be real with yourself and stop playing with me because that answer is like it's not a realistic answer when I'm asking you how much money do you really want to make. I'm coming from a place of, have you actually done the calculations of what it takes for you to be able to make this type of money that you're asking for? And when you ask for $1 million, can you actually handle 300,000, 400,000, 800,000? Some people don't like this type of realness. Only the strong survive in this game. Okay, I'm being so real. I'm being completely honest. All right, so number 7. All right, we're getting through this very quickly. So don't do it alone and don't rely on everyone. All right, so don't do it alone, but don't rely on everyone. So the mistake a lot of people do is out of comfort, but you're asking family and friends to validate you or build with you when they don't believe in your vision. These people don't care. Your friends, family, coworkers, they don't, unless it is like sometimes your spouse don't even really care until it's actually making money and in motion is happening. You understand? So Misplaced. The support trap is misplaced expectations lead to unnecessary disappointment. I told y'all some people be lying to y'all. They will lie to you. You will ask them for advice. You sitting down with your coworkers talking about how you want to open up your own assisted living facility. You've been a CNA or a registered nurse for the last 23 years, and now you want to open up your own assisted living facility, and they're telling you all of these things. Yeah, you could do this. I have this one friend, but they're not going to give you the connection. They lying. They really don't support you for real. You have to, this is a lone road, LONE. This is a lone road, which means you will do this alone first. And then when you start to build, then as you are scaling up, God will definitely bring you those destiny helpers and those people that you need to connect with that will help you grow. But you have to prove to yourself that this is that you're serious about this and you're prioritizing it. And that is like where a lot of people fail at. So what you should do, all right, what you should do, okay, instead is find a mentor, a coach, or a community if of other entrepreneurs who get it. Build a tribe that holds you accountable. Example, your cousin might not buy your candles, but someone in a Facebook group will if you show up. How many times I have to tell y'all that? Facebook groups. I asked you all yesterday, what is the pullback or the hesitation behind actually getting a mentor? One person actually gave me a thorough answer of their experience with SCORE. And she stated that she went with SCORE. I think that was Katrina from yesterday. She went with SCORE. And the only thing she went through their program, but the only thing she didn't like is that they tried to make her get a business loan. And she felt like she was not properly financially ready for that type of debt. I respect that 100%. But making sure that you are aware of the type of help you're going for. If you go for the SBA programs, yes, they're going to groom you up, mentor you in the direction for you to get any of their financial incentives. If you just gain your own mentor or you get your own mentor from like someone that's like LinkedIn that you found that is a small business development coach, right? Or even myself, then it's not all about like, oh, okay, I'm trying to get you funding. That's not what you ask for. You ask for development coaching. There's a difference. Small business development coaching, helping you develop and scale. Then you got small business funding. You understand? And those are people who are just mentoring you and coaching you and giving you the strategy on how to get funding. But your mindset and your intentions got to be in the right direction. Because if you keep telling yourself, oh, I want funding, then you're going to get a funding coach. You're going to get somebody who's just only going to set up your business and prepare your business specifically for funding. But are you mission driven? Do you actually care about helping these people? It shows in your intentions and how you move about your business. Okay. It shows. All right. So here are my final thoughts on this. These are my final thoughts. Starting a business isn't about having everything. It's about moving with what you have. Avoiding these 7 traps will keep you from building on a shaky foundation. So let's build smart, move boldly, and stay in purpose. All right, you can always book a grant call with me. Make sure you screenshot that. Also, my link is in the description. And here's my number. I also pin my number at the bottom of the chat. So these are my final thoughts. I would like for you guys to drop your questions in the chat. Which number do you feel like you have a challenge with out of all of these 7 steps? So number 1 is don't start with a broke mindset, even if your wallet's empty. Number 2 was don't mix business and personal finances. Number 3 is don't copy and paste someone else's business model without context. Number 4 was don't sell to everybody, you'll sell to nobody. 5 was don't delay your online presence. 6 was don't ignore the numbers. And 7, which we just went over, was don't do it alone. Don't rely on everyone. So out of the 7 steps that we went over, what do you tell me in the chat? What do you believe that you have the most challenges with? And let me help you get through it. All right. So I hope y'all enjoyed my little lesson there. I love when we do these lessons. How do y'all feel about it? So yeah, um, which number do you think you have had a challenge with? Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Any advice on getting people to see your vision so you know you who you can trust? Um, So you can't try to force anybody to see your vision. You have to go off of the energy of the conversation. So you choose, and it's who you choose, right? You choose that individual and you explain to them what your business vision is or business mission is. And then based off of the energy that they give you, then you can be able to, and that's where discernment comes in. Then you can be able to determine if this is the person that you should be working with as far as in a business coach. You can't go to the SBA and try to tell everybody that you got a tech idea and it's a tech innovation and expect them to really be into what you're doing. They want to give you the basics on how to scale it, but it's an innovation. It's something that has never been done before. So you also have to be open-minded to understanding that because it is innovative and it's never been done before, that it might be a challenge to get others to actually see your vision, but you do need help with at least the basics to get the gears going to get started. And then, like I said, as you scale, the more and more you connect yourself and network yourself with people, you may come across people that have already developed tech apps, that have already been in the fintech world, that have already been into these certain type of industries that can be able to give you insights. I remember yesterday that you said that you wanted to do like a venture building, and you also asked me that whether or not you should have like a grant acquisition department. Well, if you are more focused on helping other startups and small business owners get funding, then there's so many people out here that do small business funding, and there's so many different venture capitalist firms that you definitely want to network yourself with those types of people and explain to them exactly the idea. Also, you want to connect with other people who have already community groups specifically for small businesses. For example, the Gathering Spot. The Gathering Spot is that business lounge that they have. They had the main location in Atlanta. Now they have actually, through COVID, created their own community and they travel to different countries and different cities and states in the United States. So, with that being said, you want to connect yourself and actually get on these platforms and see how they operate so you can take out some pointers and tips. This is a strategy. So you have to create your own strategy, execute on it, and also be confident in it because it's not going to be perfect. If it doesn't work, then it's a lesson, and then you strategize based off of the lesson that you have learned. You understand? If I told you, or if in a coaching, say in a coaching, you had a coaching with me, and I told you you can go ahead and touch the stove. It's cool. It's not hot. But then here you go touch the stove, and guess what? It's hot today. You learned your lesson. And it said the stove is actually hot at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Because most people came in there, they probably came in there and used the stove after breakfast or for lunch or whatever have you. So now you know around 2 o'clock, don't touch that stove. That's your lesson. So you need to execute differently. So instead, what you're gonna do is you're gonna know that you could possibly touch the stove around, let's say after 10 p.m. or probably early in the morning, like 6 a.m. before anybody else wakes up. That's the best analogy I can give you anyway. Okay. So yeah. Do Blackheart says, if you plan on doing business in different states, you need different LLC in different states. Nope. And you need to also think about it from a standpoint of Apple, Google, and Elon Musk with Tesla. You understand? Meta, Facebook. You understand? Like these people have their LLCs that are based out of Texas and Los Angeles, California, and they are literally worldwide, global. I get that question a lot, but I understand that, it's mindset. I totally understand. But no, you don't have to open up an LLC in all these different states in order to be able to operate. As long as you have a business registration, that's it. You're good to go. Hey, I missed it. Sorry you missed it, friend. Don't ignore the numbers. Yes. Um, I struggle with 1 and 4. Broke mindset is a struggle. It is. It is a challenge, but also I know that there is a lot of conferences and brunches and a lot of these virtual like virtual conferences that you guys can do for free that they do. Like a lot of them talk about mindset training and a lot of them talk about having a broke mindset, right? And then I also know the feeling of the only reason why they're telling you that is simply because they want to influence you to purchase their courses or to purchase their programs or to get into their communities. I totally understand the trauma behind that. But I'm telling you this from a standpoint of a small business development coach that cares about your development. Okay. Getting out of the broke mindset also comes with experience. That's why I always preach to y'all to execute. The E in entrepreneurship means execution. I say this all the time. Wantrepreneur, those are people who just want to do it, and that's what you've been doing this whole entire time. You want to do this, you want your business to do this, you want people to know about it, but you are afraid of what comes with the business. And that is your broke mindset and that fear of perfectionism that's not allowing you to grow. But instead, in order for you to actually get out of that mindset, you actually have to execute. In order for you to get out of that mindset, you actually need to be in that room of other people who have way much more money than you and that are much more successful. It's going to humble you. And once you get humbled, you're going to move accordingly. A lot of people not ready for that. Once you get humbled, you will move accordingly. So I understand when you say the broke mindset is a challenge. I was there. You understand? I was there. And even now, like, even sometimes right now, I told y'all, I was being honest with y'all, but I told y'all one of like my challenges. I even sometimes battle with that even now after 10 years of entrepreneurship, which is why I limit myself to only taking in to how many high ticket clients I take in, simply because it's that fear of validation of, am I going to do this? That perfectionism. You know what I mean? The fear of my deliverance, even though I know I'm going to deliver stellar service, superior services, is still that fear there. And that comes from that broke mindset. But if I'm always hanging around billionaires and flying on jets, then I'm just going to be free falling and just chilling. So even I do have my own fear, but you have to persevere through that and also have faith in yourself. You understand? So that, and then you said number four. Number four is don't copy, or sorry, no, number four is don't sell to everybody, you'll sell to nobody. Yeah, be open to limiting directly and exact, especially for the thing that you are trying to do with the venture building, right? The physical brick and mortar, you're only going to deal with businesses, right? So what if a business comes into your venture building and they say, yeah, I'm looking for like $1.2 million so I can in venture capitalists or in investments, and you seem like the building that I need to come to for this type of funding. So I'm coming here to see if what you can do for me, right? If you do not have confidence and faith and the right connections to be able to help that type of person out, then when are you going, like, how are you going to know how to service that type of client? You gotta, yeah, you gotta build that confidence for sure. I noticed that with some of your responses here, that you gotta, it's confidence building for you. Then it says number two. So number two is don't mix business and personal finances. Yeah, this is a big one for y'all. Be more organized with your business finances. Be more organized. Be more organized. Do not take cash apps, Venmos, and Zelles. Okay, when you have payment processing apps like Stripe, when you got PayPal out here, PayPal Business, okay, these are payment processors, and they also do the accounting for you as well. I love Stripe. We talked about Stripe. So why not open up your business bank account, set up your Stripe, and send your invoices and your payment link to your clients. Now you're operating. Now you're doing business. If you're taking consultations, if you're using Calendly, Calendly actually connects with Stripe and PayPal, especially Stripe. I love Stripe. Okay. So if you're using Calendly, then you just simply log into your Stripe account through the Calendly app website, and then it will automatically pair. So that way you can start taking consultation fees. Then what happens is once they have booked, in the process of them booking, before they can book, they will make the payment through Calendly. Then that payment will go to your Stripe. It'll be registered through your Stripe. Then it will go into your business bank account. Once it goes into your business bank account, then it's accounted for. If you're selling products through Etsy and Amazon, Stripe, buy your stuff, it goes into your Stripe account. Stripe makes it sure it's accounted for. 24 hours, you'll have the money into your automatically direct deposited into your business bank account. Then you will pay yourself from that. This is why you need coaching. Because if you're saying, oh, nobody taught me that, this is why you need coaching. Because they're not going to teach you that. Like, I'm so serious, because all of that, oh, no, you too old to be thinking like that. And I'm being so serious. That mindset of, oh, they never taught me that, get over it. In 2025, get over it. 5 years after COVID, get over it. It's time for you to get up and take accountability for your education and take accountability for your business structure. Seriously, this is why you need coaching. And you should not be hesitant when you know you need help. That's when you know you need help. And with these 7 things, when you know for a fact and you honest with yourself, after us going through the 7 don'ts, and you know you are consistently executing on these 7 things that I said do not do, you need mentorship, you need coaching. And don't listen to anybody on the streets who does not have a successful business telling you, oh, it's a scam. Some of them are a scam, but that's why you ask direct questions in these consultations to reassure yourself on who you're dealing with. Closed mouth don't get fed. That's why you need coaching and mentorship. And nobody's going to tell you that. Nobody's going to teach you that. Don't. And also people who tell you that, oh yeah, these coaches, this is levels to coaching. My coach, who I paid $250,000 for their program, I don't even see him. I don't even talk to him. You wanna know why? Because in order to talk to him directly, that's a whole separate $250,000 lunch or outing, golfing day with this guy. It's levels to this coaching. So if you're trying to go for Myron Golden, who is my coach, you're not there yet. So you need a small business development coach to develop you to a certain level. If you're trying to go for Donnie Wiggins got high profile clients. You're not going to get Donnie Wiggins directly. She's going to put you in her community group. She's going to put you with some of her smaller mentors that she's actually trained. And then you're going to have a designated mentor through that. And until you develop to being that high ticket client of making $500,000 or better, then she'll talk to you if you are willing to pay that type of money. So be mindful of business models and be mindful of the type of coaches you're going for. These Joy Hunt that y'all brought to me, which by the way, she did respond to my email and she said she's open to a collab. So I'm really excited about that. Thank you guys. Y'all saw I actually executed on emailing her yesterday to see if she wants to do a not a consultation, but a live stream with me. And we're going to do a collaboration. So that's the power of executing and not waiting. That part. But Joy Hunt, high ticket clients, got all these hundreds of thousands of followers, almost 1 million followers. You got to be mindful. You got to be mindful. You probably not going to deal with her directly. You're going to deal with her team that she has payroll of. But if you want to deal with her directly, you got to pay the tab. And that is my problem, because I know the quality of help that I give. I know the quality of service I give. And what my challenge is number one, the broke mindset with that. Because I'm so eager and I just want to help y'all so much that I know that I could just leave y'all respectfully and go be in Dubai and write grants for a company that makes millions of dollars annually. Which I do, but I limit that. I could be taking way more of those clients, hanging out with these people instead of coming on here every day on YouTube. But that's my mindset challenge. So we all in the same boat. So we all in the same boat. Same thing I'm telling you. I have to take accountability for my own stuff too. One of the reasons why y'all like me the most is because I'm a real human being. But I'm gonna show you my growth. I just told you what my fear is. I also told you yesterday that one of my fears was reaching out to these people. I persevered through it and I got really good results from it. Now I'm going to be doing collaborations with some of your favorite creators talking about grants and stuff. Now that has sparked up a fire in me that makes me feel like, okay, let me see what connections that I can pull together, what resources I can pull together to pitch my services and my businesses to those high ticket businesses, because grants is an extra stream of income, something y'all don't know. I know a lot of y'all are going for grants to help you have the funding to start your business, but in all reality, a lot of my clients that get these high ticket grants, they're already seasoned businesses. They're already making six figures or better. Okay, so I can have a higher successful grant writing rate, and I can build my own team to work specifically for this company and build small teams to work for different companies, right? And I can be getting paid annual income from each company. Let's say 250K, 250K, 250K. I've already made 700K. And that's just working for three, three big companies that make that money enough to be able to pay this salary for my team. This is like a real thing that I be battling in my own mind. So now that I've exercised getting over my own fear yesterday, now I'm like, okay, I'm about to go on a networking tour. Because once I get them three clients that's willing to pay that, and I give them a team of 5 to 10 people that will only write grants for them all day, every day, consistently, and that will also be willing to call out and do sponsors and get sponsorships and donations, like a real elite, superior funding team specifically for that particular company, so they can have extra stream of income and charitable gifts that they don't have to pay back. Wow, now that's a high level. China says, I believe this is your calling to help small and startup. It limits me. It limits my potential. It limits my potential. Because something that you have to also take in consideration is that if the the challenge of wanting success so bad for y'all that you don't want it yourself and you refuse to execute on the things that I'm telling you, that becomes stressful. And then it makes me not want to do this. Because all this stuff on these 7 don'ts, somebody told you this either through social media or whatever. You probably never even looked for this information, but you knew you could have gotten a mentor that can tell you this. But these 7 steps, y'all have been really serious about doing this, and you should not be doing these things. So yeah, don't leave me yet. LOL. I seriously need you. I have an amazing business idea. That's cool. All right, so any last minute remarks or anything like that? I do have a Zoom that I need to hop into, so you guys let me know. What's your last minute remarks about what we went over today? I think this was a really great conversation. I think that it was something that needs to be had. Definitely book a one-on-one consultation with me. And one of my friends, she's Korean. She said this because she lives in Dubai. She said, you know what, Shelby, I really do love what you do on social media, but eventually you're going to have to stop doing it. She was like, 6 years, you got to stop. And she said, you want to know why? Because people do not value things that are free. True. All this free game I be giving out, but it's not valued. How I know that is because how many people that watch my videos versus I can. Okay, so I can. Okay, sorry. So yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go for the day because I do need to hop in this Zoom call. But enjoy the rest of your day. Definitely replay this if you missed out on those 7 steps. Some really good information, good like one-on-one coaching. And I will see y'all tomorrow. All right. I will see y'all tomorrow in another video, same time tomorrow. Okay. Bye bye for now.